Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brandon Wynn, and this is Critical Failure. Uh, Prior note, if you hear anything weird, my friend's playing PUBG in the background. I just recently got home as I'm recording this, and we're on the Choker, the Mornicate and Stomophos BC area, I think it would be called. Uh, this alien aberration thing looks like a cross between Squidward tentacles and I think it's called the Drowner from the Witcher series. I think it's a Witcher 2. I think that's what it's called, by the way. It's just ugly as hell, and I'm currently having to scroll my phone to find it because I just accidentally swiped away my book. But this thing is just hideous looking once I can find it. But please don't forget to like and subscribe, as I will be bringing you somewhat reliably updated stuff now, as I am able to record and do things much easier. Hopefully I can actually start doing a series on how my friend is learning D&D as he's starting to try and play. I actually just scrolled onto this choker thing now, and I will show you what it looks like. That's what the choker looks like, that ugly fucking bastard. Jesus, it's chaotic evil, which I just noticed. But this thing is full of cartilage, not any bone whatsoever, which is surprising. So I will possibly, if I can remember, possibly, I will possibly be saying very cool things that you could use with this monster, as he could be put into rather rather cool like positions to be able to use them. But this thing, it's a size small, surprisingly. I thought it'd be a size medium, as it looks like it would be. Like I said, it's a small aberration, chaotic evil. It has a natural armor AC of 16, which means that if someone were to use these in like some sort of army, it could wear something better than that. It has an average of 13 hit points. It's 3d6 plus 3, and a speed of 30 feet. It has a natural strength of 16, which is a plus 3, dexterity of 14 plus 2, constitution of 13 plus 1, intelligence of 4, a minus 3, which it's not surprising. This thing is very, very dumb looking. It has very animalistic tendencies and such. It has a wisdom of 12, so it does learn from its mistakes, and has a charisma of 7, which is a minus 2. I would feel like this thing would actually have more of a low charisma, like lower than the intelligence. This is another case where I would change the intelligence and charisma again. These things live in the underdark or in caverns. I would say something more around water, because it seems like these things are more aquatic, or at least semi-aquatic, amphibious creatures. These things tend to lurk around like crevices where normal people couldn't hide into, where their long spindly arms could, which gets into a cool thing. Once I get into like actions and cool methods how to use this, I'll explain that. But its proficient skills are +6 to stealth, which is dexterity, meaning it would have to have a +4 to proficiency. Its senses are dark vision of 60 feet and passive perception of 11. It speaks deep, which is very, very surprising. So for any of you who know anything about my Kylan Va character, he spoke deep, and he constantly asked things if it spoke deep. And it's a challenge rating of 1, meaning you get 100 experience points for killing it. It has an ability called Aberrant Quick. I think it's Aberrant Quickness. It recharges after a short or long rest, and the choker can take an extra action on its turn, meaning that it can become even harder for a low-level party to survive if you encounter 1 or 2 of these, depending on how many people are in your party. It has a thing called Boneless, and the choker can move through a space and occupy a space as narrow as 4 inches without squeezing, which I'm assuming is more like a type of grapple type of thing, restricted movement, like something similar to rough terrain. And it has an ability called Spider Climb, which you can climb on difficult surfaces, including upside down on ceilings, without needing to make an ability check, which is really cool. So that's really cool. And it has multi-attack, so it can use 2 tentacle attacks, which it's a melee weapon, +5 to hit, reach of 10 feet, which is 5 feet more than most other weapons. And I'm going to get into this after that. It can only target 1 creature, takes an average of 5 hit points, but it's 1d4 plus 3 bludgeoning damage, plus 3 average 1d6 piercing damage, which is surprising that it does 2 different types of damages like that. It's usually something like acid or something like that, poison. I could see poison being something. The target is larger, smaller. It is considered grappled and can make a escape of DC of 15 until the grapple ends. The target is restrained and the choker can't use that tentacle it used to grab it until pardon me. It can't use that onto another target. So the choker has 2 tentacles and can do it to both at once, or it can attack using the other one on that person. I would say give it advantage. It would be really good. If the attack is a critical hit, the target also can't breathe or speak until the grapple ends. So it's basically constricting its vocal cords and choking it. That's really cool to me. A great cool way to use this is basically, it doesn't say that they aren't alone. It says that they usually don't attack alone or hunt very close to each other. But that doesn't mean that they can't alert others. So they tend to not necessarily be too far away. I would say that it'd be really cool to actually possibly have these things restrained by like a wizard or something like that into a room that is its own, like a only way to go in, and they're under like some sort of spell where they don't attack him specifically or anyone that he specifies against. So it's like more like a trap or something along the lines of basically keeping them within like that small crevice, as you you just recently learned of that 4 inches it can squeeze into there, still attacking people from within. So we can use a tentacle to grab and whip its tentacle through the small parts and small cracks within an armor, like say it's like a plate mail. It could go into like a joint and just move its body, pressing the body into that the wall that it's hiding behind. And with its other one, it could just be bashing that character's head. So it says like the fighter with plate mail, like bashing its head into like that armor dents, creating more of a panic, causing them to still be grappled or restrained and being beaten senselessly. And it'd be really cool to actually see that. Plus, it having advantage if you follow that thing that I said, likelihood of a critical, meaning that it would suffocate the hell out of these people. The choker, in a group sense, if again encountered multiples, I would say that it could do possibly poison damage. I think it would be really cool to actually see these things do bludgeoning, piercing, and some poison. Like it possibly could have like some sort of poison spray, as it is an aberration, and these things can possibly be different for any of you who believe that whatever you see in the monster manual, that's all it can do. No, like you as a DM can do anything with this thing. If you want these things to have way more health and you want it to be a higher challenge rating, dude, do that. It'd be really cool. I can see these things being used as like watchmen of sorts. Like they're not very intelligent, but this communication or some sort of thing towards master that could be utilizing it would be very cool. To any common traveler, it would be a hazard to, as it would just instantly murder them. To a low-level party, one of these things can easily down or kill a member, or possibly 2, depending on how you use it. Like if it's staying in that, like that cracks, a bow and arrow with disadvantage, a pike would easily do it, as you would have to be close, but the only way you could do that is by basically taking a disadvantage of attacking over the ally. Again, you have to make a escape check of 15. I would say probably something along the lines of dexterity, but if it does go through strength, you have to basically pry yourself off of it. Now, a really cool thing that you could do to really mess up with your party, if you are kind of in a very angry or dickish mood, use some sort of adhesion, basically making them roll with disadvantage. That will cause them to have a sticky substance clinging to them, to where you could describe like, they're peeling off and they're literally about to make it, and then they're forced back. So the higher the roll, like say it's a 14, they just force back onto that, and they know about that DC. They know that they're getting close to it. And then say that adhesion also is corrosive, so it melts plate armor and such things, like any metal or leather armors. That'd be really cool. And then it'd be that'd be really cool. And again, sorry for my friend screaming in the background, but that's the choker as of right now. I really am going to be going more in depth. I'm probably going to end up just going to be talking about the Aarakocra in a more in-depth way instead of a DM's quick look like how I've been doing with these past videos. It's going to go into a deep analysis of the history and stuff. Excuse me. I think that'd be really cool, as I've been writing on this for months because of the fact that a lot of things have happened. I just stopped writing for it and stuff like that. I've really almost finished. So after that, I'm probably going to go into the next thing of the 5th edition Monster Manual, not Mordecai's bestiary or anything, just the Monster Manual as it is. So yeah, that's it. My name is Brandon Wynn again. Please like and subscribe. Please tell me down in the comments below what you would like to see this channel become. Again, might be going into other directions with it, also maintaining a more D&D aspect, but possibly doing other things. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully someone has watched this far, but see you guys.